scam at Micro Center. The 9060 XT reviews went out way too early, and RTX 50 series gonna get even worse. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast. This Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. As a reminder, it's giveaway month. On the 20th of this month, we're gonna be drawing the winners for our 2 PC giveaways that we have going on over on our Twitch channels, twitch.tv/UFD Tech for the RTX 5090 PC that we still haven't built, but will be built and shipped out to the winner. And then the 9070 XT PC that we have going on over on our twitch.tv/UFD music channel. If you want to come hang out with us over on those platforms, you're more than welcome to. Find out how to enter into that. But I promise you that the 5090 PC that you're going to win is not going to be apparel. It's not going to be clothing accessories. Unlike the RTX 5090 that somebody picked up at the brand new launch of the Santa Clara store of Micro Center in California. They were all excited, going there, shopping, getting an RTX 5090, bringing it home. Turns out it's 3 crossbody bags inside a brand new sealed Zotac box. Now, this person posted this on Reddit, to which most of the responses initially were like, "You're a liar. This is not true. You're just trying to get a free graphics card. You fool. You're just faking it." But turns out he wasn't faking it, because upon returning to the store the next day, Micro Center was able to track down the fact that it wasn't just him who got scammed. There were 31 other Zotac graphics cards that had the same issue. It turns out somebody from the supplier of the GPU got into the boxes, put in these crossbody bags, and then shipped them out, and Micro Center received brand new in-box GPUs that weren't actually graphics cards. And some people asked, couldn't you tell it was the weight difference? And turns out it was like a pound difference, which if you're just picking up a 5090, you're very likely not gonna notice. It was a frustrating situation, to say the least. However, upon returning and getting this all sorted out, he does now have a brand new RTX 5090. Micro Center did make good on all of this. They're gonna be pursuing what's exactly going on with the suppliers, trying to make sure that everything's correct with that, because Micro Center didn't actually scam the guy. It just so happens to be that it went further up the chain, and Micro Center's part in all of this was resolving it. The only real takeaway that you could possibly have from this is, if you're gonna be buying high value goods that you are not unboxing in a store, potentially record it for documentation so that you can prove, hey, I didn't just put 3 crossbody bags on a bed and say that I didn't get a 5090 even though the 5090 is in my system. This way you can show, hey, it's sealed, I unboxed it, here's my high value item that is indeed fake. If it turns out it's the actual item you purchased, just delete the video. You're fine. But if it's not, you have video evidence that you got scammed, which is not great. But you know what is great? Today's video sponsor. What do you think of when you hear the words remote desktop? I bet you think of IT or other PC and data management fields. Well, today's sponsor, AnyDesk, is changing who remote access is for. While AnyDesk is still super convenient for IT and larger scale business applications, it is also great for personal or smaller scale use. Say you're starting a YouTube channel or doing some editing on the side and you've got a beast of a rig at home, but now you have a trip planned at the same time a video is due. Instead of plunking down a nice chunk of change on a beefy new laptop, you can use AnyDesk to actually edit video remotely on your at-home editing rig, all from your 5-year-old laptop that's begging for a break. AnyDesk also allows for audio pass-through, so you can handle your audio at the same time. Whether you're scrubbing footage or managing a fleet of business PCs, AnyDesk offers a lightning-fast connection, making you feel as if you're sitting right in front of the remote machine, taking the edge off of your troubleshooting troubles. AnyDesk also is super accessible, being free for personal use and offering scalable and custom plans for whatever your business needs could be. Also being available on all major platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux, and even mobile iOS and ancient legacy systems like Windows XP. Best of all, AnyDesk is lightweight and respectful of your privacy. After all, it's built for professionals who value performance and security. So change the way you manage your remote desktops by checking out AnyDesk via the link below. Big thanks to AnyDesk for sponsoring. Well, somebody didn't remote into this reviewer's PC and then leak all of their stuff, but it turns out that they just did it themselves, because now we have some pre-release reviews going out for the 9060 XT, and it shows that roughly what we kind of expected out of this card. It is roughly a 5060 Ti at significantly cheaper price points. So in this review across 1080p, it is 3.5% faster than the 5060 Ti in terms of 1% lows, 3.6% slower in terms of average FPS. At 1440p, it's 5.6% slower in average FPS, and then ray tracing pricing, it's 10.1% slower. But again, significant cost difference coming in with the 9060 XT 16 gig versus the 5060 Ti 16 gig. Now, to note, this eTechnic review that got published does not include the 8 gig version of the card whatsoever. This is a 16 gig to 16 gig comparison, and you can kind of see where it falls in line with various other GPUs out there. It is still below the 7700 XT, but it is launching at $100 lower MSRP. Again, that's just the suggested retail price. We'll still have to wait to see what retailers actually list it at, but it does beat out the 3070 Ti, the 7600 XT by quite a margin, and gets pretty close to the 5060 Ti in a bunch of games. Now, speaking of the MSRP, etc., we are starting to get companies putting out their pricing for these cards, and it does look like they're going to be close to in line with where AMD kind of said that they should be. The 8 gig version being posted for $320, the 16 gig version being posted $370. It's a little bit higher, but it's not a step above like it has been with several other GPUs. It appears like, for the most part, we're getting 5060 Ti level performance for 5060 level pricing. Obviously, this is according to one review. They're still waiting for more to come out as this card launches later this week, but the 9060 XT, if it holds true at that $300 to $350 price point, looks to be a mighty fine GPU. You know who else is mighty fine? Reese. Saves you money.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll jump straight into the deals for you. Starting off today, we have the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless Gaming Mouse, going for only $14.99 with the promo code SteelSeries, taking an extra $5 off to give you $35 off the total price. And then secondly, we have the Insta360 Link 2 tracking 4K webcam for $169.99, making it $30 off the total price. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you back to Brett for the rest of your heart news. Cheers.
Well, Reese, people, you got a Steam Deck, you're getting a great deal because NVIDIA announcing that there's a native GeForce Now app coming out to your mobile handheld. GeForce Now, it's now the Stream Deck GeForce Now Steam Deck. You can play games across the cloud on the device. It's great. Honestly, this is a smart move. Glad NVIDIA did it. It's a good partnership for them. Also, I always think it's a great partnership when AMD merges their CPUs and their GPUs into one APU combo. And now we have details coming out that the 9000G APUs might be arriving sometime soon, because Gigabyte putting out a BIOS thing on their webpage showing that the 9000G is going to be supported by their B650 motherboard. There's not much to it besides the fact that it looks like they're starting to prep it by putting it into the websites. So it's happening. I'd like to see that. And I love to see whatever Paulo Gomez does whenever he's tinkering with GPUs, because we already talked about his most recent adventure into putting 8 gigabytes of VRAM onto the GTX 970. But it turns out he wanted to take it a step further and Frankenstein the heck out of this thing, because even though the GTX 980, the big brother to the 970, also came with 4 gigabytes of VRAM, you can't double it because of how the BIOS strapping works. It's just not possible to make happen, even though you can do it with the GTX 970. But you can get 8 gigabytes of VRAM on the 980 if you take a core of the 980, put it on a 970 board, and then do some tinkering into the BIOS to make a monstrous thing, which is a 980, 970, 4 to 8 gigabyte GPU. And what they showed was that the 970 that they started with, the base layer PCB, got roughly 700 points in Unigine superposition. And then now this 980 8 gig is at close to 2000, just a massive, huge bump up. That's in terms of 8K performance. Is this practical? Hardly for anybody. I just love to highlight whatever Paulo Gomez does, because it's always some wizardry in the soldering department and BIOS hackery that just shows what's capable when you have the technical know-how, and I really, really appreciate that kind of thing. But it turns out Microsoft doesn't think you or they will appreciate an Xbox handheld, because despite all of the reports that have been coming out that an Xbox handheld was in the works, turns out that might be DOA before it even shipped, because the reports are that they're shelving the project to focus on making Windows 11 better for handheld systems. So no dedicated Xbox on the go setup to launch alongside the Series X successor, but rather it's going to be making Windows 11 better, and Project Kennen is not actually happening anymore, at least according to this one insider's report saying that it has been just put on hiatus. Nobody's been laid off, but this project is not going to be moving forward. The Xbox handheld that we will likely get is just going to be the Ally Ally 2, which is going to have an Xbox version, potentially some like theming on Windows 11, but it's not going to actually be anything that is a running Xbox operating system. And if you wanted to run an RTX 50 series GPU, it turns out supply for those things might get even worse. Reports are coming out that NVIDIA is looking to cut the RTX 50 series production in order to, say it with me now, focus on AI. That's what they want to do. They have actually, if you look at stock for the RTX 50 series right now, it appears to be mostly evened out. You can find a lot of the cards in stock at most retailers. The problem happens to be that the prices are significantly elevated. You can buy an RTX 5090 at Micro Center, at Newegg, wherever you kind of want to buy it. You're just going to be spending $3,000. That's just the way it is. It's not going to go down. These are shipped and sold by the companies that are selling them. It's not some third-party markup that's happening. Those are just the prices. So it looks like supply has leveled out, even if the pricing hasn't. But now it looks like that's going to get worse, with the reports indicating that because they're tapped out on GPU production for the AI side of things and they're wasting wafers on you gamers, they're going to fix that. They're going to reduce the capacity of the 50 series by 20 to 30% and then make more AI cards to satisfy the customers who are willing to pay a significant amount more. I know DeBauer just put out a video over the weekend about the RTX Pro 6000, which is the AI version of the RTX 5090. It has 3 times as much VRAM, which is significant. It's about 20% better in gaming. It's not a huge revelation, but it's $10,000. It's $10,000 minimum. If you try to go buy one on eBay right now, there's one for like $9.5, but it's dented. If you wanted a sealed one, it's like $15,000. That's why NVIDIA is doing this, because they can get companies and organizations to spend an unhealthy amount of money on these things in order to run their little language models. That's what they're trying to do. And what you guys are trying to do is get me to respond to your comments by leaving them. So let's see what you had to say on Thursday's episode of Hot News. We got Smurfweed saying, Brett, thank you for spending 10 minutes to explain why everyone thinks you're wrong. As a new dad, can you please explain to me how you have time to beat Expedition 33 with all your kiddos in the background? So yes, I'm a new dad. Well, I don't know if you're saying you're a new dad, and you're trying to ask me for advice on your new dadding, or if you're saying I'm a new dad because I do have a newborn child at home. But so the way it works at my household is I have 2 significantly older children. I have a child who's in high school, and I have a child who is in middle school and fully capable of taking care of themselves. They play their own video games. They have their own video game time. I have my own video game time. Our son Emmett, who has SYNGAP and has all of the challenges that go along with that, he has nap times. That's great. You know who else has nap times? Babies! And so I get to play during the nap times. Additionally, we have babysitters come here and there. We also have physical therapists and stuff show up in the house to take care of Emmett for certain hours. So we have some flexibility in the structure of our system that allows us to do it. But I will say that when my 2 oldest kids were under 4, I was not getting much video game time in, because it's a lot harder. It's just way more difficult. But also, beating Expedition 33 mostly happened on the 24-hour travel that we had to Taiwan and the 24-hour travel to come home. So when I was sans kids, I didn't have them around. My wife was taking care of them alongside, the help that we got from our families and friend to help take care of everybody. So it's systems and structures and taking advantage of the moments that I have. And I streamed a bunch of my Expedition 33 gameplay on Twitch, and there were sections where if you were watching the stream, I didn't move for half an hour because I just stopped. I paused the game to go take care of family stuff, and I was just I'm not going to explain this. I'm just gonna do that, and you're gonna watch my character do their idle animation, because I got more important and better things to do than play this video game right now, despite how much I love it. Love my family a lot more. And then I wanna put a little capstone on this whole VRAM argument that we had. Pro 7 South saying, "You're the pan-ultimate AMD shill." I know, it sucks. Sorry to disappoint you that much. Kind of pan, like a wok, frying, what are we talking about here? Penultimate? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm the second to best AMD shill. Who would be number 1? Who's the number 1 AMD shill if I'm number 2? What's going on? Well, what's going on here is I'm done with hot news. I'll see you back here for more of the hottest tech news tomorrow, hopefully.